Shri Hare Namaha. We shall begin the session now. Apavitraha pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabahyabyantara shuchihi. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Paramagurubhyo Namaha, Shri Adigurubhyo Namaha, Shri Mulagurubhyo Namaha, Shri Madananda Tirtha Bhagat Padacharabhyo Namaha, Shri Vedavyasaya Namaha, Shri Bharate Namaha, Shri Saraswate Namaha, Shri Vayve Namaha, Shri Brahmane Namaha, Shri Mahalakshme Namaha, Shri Narayanaya Namaha, Shri Hare Namaha, Mokshaprada Shri Vasudevaya Namaha, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranatakleshan Ashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो ग्रन्थमुदीरयेत् नारायणं सर्वगुरुं जगदेकनाथं भक्तप्रियं सकललोकनमस्कृतं च त्रैगुण्यवर्जितम् अजमिपुमाद्यमीशं वन्दे भवग्नममरासुरसिद्धवन्द्यम् अविकाराय शुद्धाय नित्याय परमात्मने सदैकरूपरूपाय विष्णवे सर्वजिष्णवे नमो हिरण्यगर्भाय हरये शङ्कराय च वासुदेवाय ताराय सर्गस्थित्यन्तकारिणे एकानेकस्वरूपाय स्थूलसूक्ष्मात्मने नमः अव्यक्तव्यक्तरूपाय विष्णवे मुक्तिहेतवे सर्गस्थितिविनाशानां जगतोऽस्य जगन्मयः मूलभूतो नमस्तस्मै विष्णवे परमात्मने. So does anyone have any queries from the sessions conducted till date?
Hare Rama Brata.
Hare Rama.
Yes, so I was reading the Vishnu Puran section which you had shared to us in the channel, and I came across a section called Moha Shastras. I wanted to understand more about it and maybe what are the names of those Shastras.
Okay, so the Moha Shastras are basically, as the name says, they are those Shastras which are not meant to be Shastras actually. Their real intention is not to provide knowledge, but to delude. So there are multiple references for this from multiple Shastras actually. Especially in the Puranas, one can find out these. So now there will be a lot of questions around this one as to why these were necessary and all that. So we'll come to them one by one.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
So in the Skanda Purana, Srimad Acharya has actually quoted one shloka in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya. In the sutra, in the third sutra, Adhyaya 1, Pada 1, Sutra 3, because that sutra says that that Brahman can be known through the Shastras. Or in other words, this is the same thing which is said in the Bhagavad Gita, where while explaining the Jagat Chakra, it is said that due to from Aksharas, Brahman originates. Now this means that we get the knowledge of Brahman and all philosophy and spiritualism from the Shastras. That is referred to as Akshara. So here there is one shloka in the Skanda Purana which says that Rig Yajuhu Sama Atharvascha Bharatam Pancharatrakam Mula Ramayanam Chaiva Shastram Ityabhi Diyate. Yatcha Anu Akula Me Tat Etatsya Tatcha Shastram Prakirtitam Ato Anyo Grantha Vistaro Naiva Shastram Kuvartma Tat. Basically, the meaning of this shloka is the Rig, Yajus, Saman, and Atharvana Vedas, the Mahabharata, Pancharatra, and Mula Ramayana, and anything in agreement with them. These are known as Shastras. So those which are in agreement with them are also referred to by the same thing. They are also Shastra. But other than these, any other texts other than these are actually unfit to be considered as Shastra. They are not fit to be considered Shastra, but they are actually meant to delude. They are actually crooked paths. Kuvartma Tat, as said at the end of the shlokas. Naiva Shastra Kuvartma Tat. So basically, they are actually not meant to provide the true spiritual knowledge. So in the Varaha Purana's Rudra Gita, actually there is one shloka which says in the 70th Adhyaya of the Varaha Purana, shloka number 35 and 36, these two have been quoted frequently by multiple Bhashikaras, especially because there Sri Vishnu himself gives a command to Shiva to generate Moha Shastras himself also. Tvamcha Rudra Mahabaho Moha Shastra Kuru. There is a shloka which goes like that. There are slight variations in the words in different recensions of the text, but that doesn't really matter. So basically, the meaning is that the so there, if you see the context in Kali Yuga, especially, Bhagwan becomes hidden because knowledge of Bhagwan and spirituality in general becomes lesser and lesser, and not the people also. Majority of the people aren't those who deserve that knowledge either. So that is how that is why he becomes hidden, and the true knowledge becomes hidden, and at the same time there is wrong knowledge also. Now, as said in the Isha Upanishad, the wrong knowledge, the worshippers of wrong knowledge, that is, in other words, those who follow and apply the wrong knowledge, they will go to Andantamas. And even those who have the true knowledge and don't condemn this or criticize this properly, they will also go to a much lower position in Andantamas. So anyway, that is a different topic, so we'll come to that later. Nonetheless, coming back to your query, the Moha Shastras are those Shastras which are not meant to provide the real knowledge, but they're meant for the Rajasika and Tamasika Jivas. Because actually it is not the Shastra which is at fault here, it is the person, it is their Swabhava. Now, we have actually translated one discourse of Sri Bannanjay Govindacharya on the classification of the Puranas into Satvika, Tamasika, and Rajasika Puranas. So that has been, we have added English subtitles to that and uploaded that on our YouTube channel long back. So those who want can refer to that. Yes, Moha Shastras. Yeah, there are pramanas stating that there are certain Mohaka Vakyas in the Shastras only. So anyway, moving on. Yes, moving on. The Moha Shastras were meant so that they will give wrong knowledge to those who do not deserve the right knowledge. So Rajasika Jivas are those who naturally are inclined towards materialistic things and who want to be materialistic. But those Shastras which provide clear cut knowledge will not favor their agenda.
I think you are on mute. Can you check if your mic is working?
There was a phone call from Guruji, so I had to mute myself for a while. So anyway, moving on. In the Vishnu Tattva Vinirnaya, for this reason, Sri Madhvacharya has actually mentioned that there are certain texts called the Sadagamas, the Sat Agamas, which means that the true Agamas. Agama doesn't mean the Tantra Shastras as such or those texts on temple worship and philosophy here. Here, Agama means the philosophical texts which provide spiritual knowledge. Even in the Vishnu Purana's translation, which we have released recently, you can see that there are two types of jnana or knowledge which are described there. So those two categories are Agamottha Jnana and Vivekottha Jnana. Agamottha is that which originates or arises from the Agamas, from study and adhyayana of the Shastras. Vivekottha is from wisdom or through proper contemplation using that knowledge. So there again, it may be confusing for beginners, and it may apparently seem to say that the Agamotta Jnana is inferior to Vivekota, but that is not the case, and we have given the proper explanation there also. That is the same way how in the Mundaka Upanishad there is a mention that the Vedic knowledge is apara or non-supreme, non-highest. But again, it doesn't mean that the knowledge there is actually flawed or won't provide us the spiritual realization or is not equal to Vivekota, because the Vivekota Jnana comes only from Agamota Jnana actually. Without the Agamota Jnana, one does not even know how to obtain Vivekota Jnana. So Vivekota Jnana is basically that which we obtain through our sadhana and our practical application of this. So anyway, we'll not go into that right now. So moving on, the Shastras basically are meant to be the root of knowledge of Paramatma. But again, here Bhagavan himself and the Devatas have composed certain Moha Shastras. Now, this was meant so that the Tamasika people and the Rajasika people will find certain things which favor them. Now, as per the Sri Vaishnavas, as explained by Sri Bananja Govindacharya also, Ramanujacharya and others have theorized that Vyasadeva was overcome with Rajoguna when he wrote the Rajasika Puranas, when he compiled them. Then he was overcome by Tamoguna when he compiled the Tamasika Puranas. Now, obviously, this cannot be true as per us, because it has been said multiple times in the Shastras, Vyasa Narayana Sakshat, Kohi Anyaha, Mahabharatam, Kritam. So there are many shlokas like this in the Vishnu Purana, Mahabharata, elsewhere, which say that Vyasadeva is Bhagwan himself. So unlike the Sri Vaishnavas, we don't consider Vyasadeva to be an Avesha of Bhagwan. We consider him to be a Sakshat Avatara of Bhagwan only. So it's not possible that he can ever be overcome by these gunas. The important part here to be highlighted is that here the swabhava of the jiva is what plays the key role. Because in the Mahabharata, we have the story of Indra and one Asura, both of whom learnt the Vedas from Brahmadeva. This is the perfect example for swabhava and how that plays the final role in anything. So while both of them learnt the Vedas from Brahmadeva himself, who is the best source actually to learn the Shastras from, and Indra concluded that their ultimate purport or tatparya is that one should practice bhakti and should have the knowledge of Bhagwan's supremacy and should always serve him mentally and through through our body and intellect. But the Asura concluded that the Vedas propagate the idea that we ourselves are Bhagwan, we are God, similar to how the Mayavadis say, take Aham Brahmasmi literally. So here, the defect is not with the Vedas, it is with their swabhava. The Asura's natural instincts were due to his swabhava to be an Asura, to be a tamasic person. So because of that, he concluded something which favored him. As we explained previously also, a knife in the hands of a surgeon will save a life, but the same knife in the hands of a murderer can kill many lives. Same is the case here. So here, actually, if you read the Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya, you will find one place where where it is explained before before Bhagwan's avatara as Rama. There, a few of the Devatas go and explain that even the Rajasika and Tamasika people have become Bhagavad Bhaktas. So now, how many of you say that this is a good thing actually, and this should have continued? Did everyone get the question?
Sorry, Bata, but could
Could
not.
you please repeat the question?
Yeah.
Sure, 1 minute. So it is mentioned that in the Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya, Sri Madhvacharya has explained how before Bhagwan appeared as Rama, even the Asuras and the worst kind of beings had become Bhagavad Bhaktas. They were all devotees and they were worshipping Sri Vishnu. So is that a good thing or not? And should that have continued?
I guess no, brother. It was not good because they were doing it for their own self.
Yes, so basically, those asuras did not truly possess bhakti. Their bhakti is just partial.
Yes.
It's like, so as we have explained previously also, Swabhava is something like the seed giving rise to a sapling and forming a tree. Now, this doesn't mean that this case can be like something like due to the change of a season, certain seeds cannot germinate. But those seeds cannot give rise to a different kind of plant also. So it was actually necessary for them to be deluded because they were stuck. They would not truly practice bhakti and they would not reach the destiny that they deserved or they wanted either. They would not. They would definitely not deserve to go to Vaikuntha because their final objective and their intentions was never really to please Bhagwan, or they did not have the selfless love for Bhagwan. All they had was, because they were confused and they did not have any knowledge or any ideas which suited their mentality, they were stuck and they were, for namesake, mechanically trying to be bhaktas. So that is when Rama came and he did certain leelas which actually deluded the asuras also, including abandoning Sita Devi was one of the major ones actually, as we explained in our YouTube video also long back. So because of this, actually, this is why the Moha Shastras became necessary, and Vyasadeva compiled the Rajasika and the Tamasika Puranas also. So, because of those Puranas, we have these things which these people got the chance to practice adharma, and they thought there is something which justifies my point of view. Because the way in which the Puranas are structured, and even the other Shastras, the way they are structured, they're meant to give the idea that adharma is acceptable, or Sri Vishnu is not Bhagwan, and they intend to show defects in Bhagwan. They intend to show defects in the Vedas also sometimes, and they have a lot of things like this. So their objective is, again, their objective is not to provide the true knowledge right away at face value. They are written in Darshana Bhasha. That is the point of view of another philosophy. It's not that they are necessarily true. They are not in Samadhi Bhasha or Guhya Bhasha. This is where the three bhashas are applicable in the Shastras, especially. So the Puranas use this a lot, especially the non Vaishnava Puranas. So in Darshana Bhasha, we have to reinterpret whatever we can, however we can, to suit Samadhi Bhasha of the other Shastras like the Mahabharata, then the Vedas, Pancharatra. The Vedas do not have the three bhashas like this. The Vedas have a different set of three bhashas. Their interpretations are Adhyatmika, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika. Any questions still here?
What is Samadhi Bhasha?
Samadhi is the face value, the direct meaning, the literal meaning, and understanding it deeply. Every word by word, you understand what it is. For example, how we have translated the Vishnu Purana 6th Amsha recently, where we have explained, where we have highlighted every word and we have given instructions on how to perform Shastra Adhyayana. So, knowing the direct meaning and anything related to that, or something which is intended to be shown by those shlokas, that is Samadhi Bhasha. Understanding the direct face value elaborately.
Okay, brother.
Guhya Bhasha is something hidden, as we explained previously also. We have given few
Yes,
examples
brother.
also that day.
Yes, and the third Bhasha was?
Darshana.
Huh, okay.
All of this is mentioned in the beginning of our few of our ebooks. For example, our Vishnu Purana translation also has this, where in the beginning we have written one section on guidelines for Shastra Adhyayana and also one section on interpretations of the Shastras. So we request everyone to refer to those. Yes, Sri Charan, you've
Okay,
been
brother.
raising your hand.
Yeah. Am I audible, Narayana?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. So, like previously, you mentioned Purana for Moha Shastras, composition of Moha Shastras. So, like, how about Mohavakyas? Like, we also say there are Mohavakyas in even in Shat Shastras. So, is there any Pramana saying like that?
Not really. See, that depends on how you define those Satshastras. Actually, the
Like, I
Sadagamas
can
or
give an
the
example.
Sattagamas are those Shastras which are providing the proper meaning at the face value only. So as we explained, there are certain vakyas which can be misinterpreted by the Rajasika and Tamasika minded people. They are more easily found and they are prevalent in the Rajasika and Tamasika Puranas, but even the Satvika Shastras, the Sadagamas can also be misused like that, because as we gave the example in the Mahabharata only, Indra and the Asura both learnt the Vedas and he misinterpreted the Vedas finally. Vedas are totally flawless. Same with the Mahabharata also. Though the present day Mahabharata has had few interpolations and deletions of the original Vakyas also, but still. And even the Puranas like Bhagavata Purana and Vishnu Purana intend to provide clear-cut knowledge, so they're considered as the Satvika Puranas.
So like Veda, Pancharatra, like Mahabharata, Mula Ramayana, they are Pramanas. So like if I just quote an example from Ramayana, where a shloka says that Rama was born and he grew up like any other normal boy. He looked beautiful. You know the six changes which happens to a material body. So Ramayana says it happened to him. So now like how to understand which is Mohaka Vakya and what is which is speaking actually the truth. Because some may interpret it.
This is actually what you said. It is not a Mohaka Vakya actually. This is simply, here it is said to be a Mohaka Vakya by some, because this is a clear-cut example of something which can be misinterpreted. If you don't have the clear-cut knowledge and if you don't
This is
refer
not
to...
this is not interpretation, right? This is directly meaning.
That is already explained in the other Shastras. No? If you read the Vishnu Tattva Vinirnaya, and if you see the Mahabharata, Varaha Purana and all, in the Vishnu Tattva Vinirnaya also, Madhvacharya himself quotes one few shlokas from the Brahmanda Purana, in that passage where it is explained why Sri Vishnu pretends as if he has a physical body, as if he takes birth, faces death. So it is already explained.
It is from Brahmanda, right?
Yes, Brahmanda Purana.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
And Varaha Purana itself says, Natasya Prakrita Murtihi Asti Mamsa Asti. Like, so there is that shloka which says that. So obviously, such shlokas are clear cut on this, that Bhagwan has no physical body at all.
So like when Ramayana is speaking like this, we have to understand this is a Mohaka Vakya.
It's not a Mohaka Vakya exactly. It simply says that when it is said like that, we should already assume that this is what it means. But yes, such vakyas can be misinterpreted by others.
Exactly. If not seen from the light of Brahmanda Purana, this may be misinterpreted.
Not just Brahmanda Purana, other Sadagamas also provide the same information here and there.
Yeah. So they may be misinterpreted. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, any Shastra, as we said already, just like how a surgeon's blade can be used even by a murderer, any Shastra can be misinterpreted, including the Vedas, as we said already. We can see how many philosophers have written all sorts of interpretations of the Vedas, but many of them, especially the recent ones, even deviate from the direct meanings also.
Yes. Yeah. So like previously you said that there is Adhyatmika, Adidevika and Adibhautika Artha of Veda. So
Yes.
are all the three true, or are the other two misinterpretations? I mean, the only one is true interpretation and the other two are misinterpretations. Is it something like that?
No, definitely not.
So
even in the
all
Mahabharata
three...
also, there are 10 interpretations. There are 10 bhashas or levels of understanding.
No, I'm just talking about Veda. I'm just talking about Veda.
Same is the case with all of the Shastras, except Darshana Bhasha in the Puranas.
So Veda is also having what you say, 10 kind of meanings, yeah?
No, 3 kind of meanings, 3 kind of interpretations.
All three are true.
Definitely.
Okay. But still Asuras misinterpret with another meaning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any more queries so far?
Brata, this Srimad Bhagavatam comes under Pancharatrika?
No. Bhagavata Purana is a Purana. It comes under the Itihasas and Puranas. It is one of the 18 Mahapuranas. That's a separate category of Shastras. The Pancharatra refers to the philosophy of Vaishnavism and the Agama Shastras, basically. the Tantra Shastra, which is used for temple worship and all other rituals.
Okay, so Madhvacharya has not accepted it as a means that it is not accepted as a authentic or the first praman like Mahabharata and the other shastras.
If he didn't accept that, why would he write a commentary on that only and say that's the best of the Puranas? One of his major
No, I
works
mean,
is only Bhagavata Tatparya Nirnaya.
no, I mean you mentioned the shloka just right now about the scriptures which Madhvacharya has said that we should refer these 5
Madhvacharya didn't
scriptures.
say that. He has quoted it from the Skanda Purana.
Okay, understood.
This is from the Skanda Purana, and there is a very similar shloka with basically the same shlokas with slight variations, which is found in the Vaishnava Kanda, Vaishaka Masa Mahatmya, 19th Adhyaya, and I think it's the 11th or the 12th shloka there in the present edition. So the shloka says that basically Rik, Yajus, Saman, and Atharvana Vedas, Mahabharata, Pancharatra, Mula Ramayana are considered as Shastras, and anything in accordance with them is also Shastra. Yat cha anukula netasya tat cha shastram prakirtitam. That is what the shloka says. Does that make it clear now?
Yeah, understood. So since Srimad Bhagavatam speaks the same thing which are spoken in Mahabharata and Ramayana, it is also considered valid.
Yes, definitely. That is in agreement with the Satagamas. So Vishnu Purana, Bhagavata Purana, and any other Puranas in accordance with them, even the Smritis also, the Dharma Shastras, they all come under the category of Satagamas as long as they are in agreement with the other Satagamas. Guruji.
Hare Ram. Yes, so what has been going on?
I was explaining about the Moha Shastras and the Satagamas.
So please complete it. No?
I am finished. I was just clarifying a doubt now about whether the Bhagavata Purana comes under the category of the Satagamas.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned one shloka quoted from the Skanda Purana in Srimad Acharya's Brahma Sutra Bhashya, which says Rigyajuhu Saman Atharvascha Bharatam Pancharatrakam, and which says that these 5 are considered as Shastras, and anything in accordance to them is also Shastra.
Yes. I think somebody posted a question just now asking whether Mula Ramayana and Valmiki Ramayana are the same.
Yes, Guruji.
You would like to answer that?
Sure, Guruji. So the Mula Ramayana is the original Ramayana, which which is known to the Devatas, but was not directly available to human beings. And the Valmiki Ramayana is the summary of it in 24,000 shlokas.
Thank you. Mula Ramayana Arnave Viharanto Mahiyam Saha Priyantam Guravo Mama. In Sangraha Ramayana, Narayana Panditacharya writes that his father Trivikrama Panditacharya was relishing in the great ocean of Mula Ramayana. So seems like some great sadhakas had access to it in some way. There's a famous shloka which says, Charitam Raghunathasya Shatakoti Pravistaram Ekaikam Aksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam. Does anybody remember chanting that verse? It's a very familiar verse. Like people are a little too familiar with that verse. So it says Charitam Raghunathasya Shatakoti Pravistaram. Originally the Charitra of Raghunatha is Shatakoti Pravistara. It is 100 crore verses long. And each letter of that is supposed to be a dispeller of sin and a dispeller of all Mahapatakas, all. Even if a person is very fallen, one ekaikam aksharam, even one word of Ramayana can actually uplift that person. One letter. So since Valmiki Ramayana is not the Mula Ramayana, Mula Ramayana is supposed to have been narrated by Hayagriva himself. So what does that imply? Valmiki Ramayana is not Mula Ramayana. So when we are considering the Sadagamas, so are we considering Valmiki Ramayana or not?
So can we consider it as subset of Mula Ramayana?
It is not exactly a subset because a subset means like you have 1 to 10. Like 10 bananas are there. 2 bananas are a subset of 10 bananas, right?
Yeah.
But if those 2 bananas are not fully the same kind of bananas that are the 10 that the 10 bananas are, then you can't really say that it's a subset. So Valmiki Ramayana, in that strict sense, it cannot be really said as a subset of Maharamayana, because there are differences at some places. And the difference is not because of Valmiki's shortcomings, but it's because of Valmiki's way of narration. It is that there is something called Bhasha Traya Vyavastha that we had spoken about that, I guess, some time ago. That there is something called Samadhi Bhasha, Guhya Bhasha, and Darshana Bhasha.
I explained that just now also, Guruji.
Okay.
And about the 3 interpretations of the Vedas also, Adhyatmika, Adi Daivika, and Adi Bhautika.
Valmiki resorts to Darshana Bhasha several times. You can describe an event in 2 ways. You can describe an event in the way that it appears to be, or you could get to the bottom of things, get thoroughly to the basis of how much is real, how much is false, what are the real reasons for that to occur. So you can get to the basis and you can well research it. And then you can say what the truth is. So when you are just describing events the way they are apparent or the way they appear to be, that is called as Darshana Bhasha, and Valmiki resorts to that a lot. When Hanuman appeared to not know his own strength, it's an appearance, it's only apparent, that is not the truth. Like Madhvacharya clarifies, it was not a fact that he did not know his strength, or he had even forgotten his strength by the sage's curse. But the real reason why, to those who don't know what I'm talking about, when the Vanara Sena had finished their 1 month deadline to complete the task of searching Sita out, Then they met Sampati and many things happened, and they found out from Sampati that Sita is actually there on the other side in Lanka when you jump over the ocean. So when they came to know that, the next question that remained is, who amongst the Vanarasena who were searching for Sita is willing to jump or is capable of jumping? So everyone started describing their own capabilities, like how far can they jump. Some said, I can jump this many yojanas, yojanas. And even some of them said that we can jump over the ocean, but we cannot jump back. So none of that was really useful. You could say that. You could say that none of that is really useful. But Hanuman, he was all the time sitting quietly, and then they approached him to actually, they praised him. And then it seems that it would appear that, okay, he required that kind of a coaxing from somebody else for him to become aware of his own prowess, his own abilities. So that would look but that is how it would appear to be. But what happened there, as described in the Tattvavaada Nirnaya, is not that Hanuman had not forgotten his abilities. He just wanted to give an opportunity for everyone to at least do a mental service of contemplating about their abilities to accomplish that task. Are you people able to understand this?
Yes,
Yes,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Like everyone thought, right? They gave it a thought. I can jump 20 yojanas. So for once they gave a thought of serving Rama by actually jumping towards Lanka. Then they realized. So that is why Yatha Shakti Seva is what Lord is looking for. God is not looking to achieve anything through us. He is independent in the matter of doing what he wants. But what is available there is an opportunity for us to participate in such a way that it purifies us and connects us with our own self and God and everything else in a way that is ought to be. So it's an opportunity for that. So that's a life lesson for us, that it is not that we have to desist. What the great Mukhya Prana and God himself, they are all the people who are actually they are watching us. They are watching by what rule of life do we live. That is what they are interested in. Are we really who we say we are or not? They are watching us for this constantly. So that would mean that even mentally, even if there is a need, if there is an opportunity to do a certain service to God, then even though it may be that physically it's not plausible for us to carry it out in all its detail, but to even contemplate sankalpamapi Vishnu dharme, that even sankalpa that I want to do this sadhana or bhakti or seva, I want to do this, that sankalpa in the mind. Later you may not be able to do because of some discrepancy, but then that is okay. But if your thought was true, if you really meant that you intend to do, that intention is also, it bears fruit in Vishnu Dharma. Is that clear?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
Even intentions have value. So watch your mind. What are your intentions? Watch it. So that was the lesson that Hanuman wanted to give all of them, and that was the opportunity of serving Rama. It is not that because he is more capable, he will usurp the opportunities of everyone to become a favorite of Rama himself. No. Anyone who has experienced the love of God, of Rama, in the form of Rama or Krishna, you will not find that such a person is selfish enough to feel that I want to use up everyone else's opportunity to gain such love. Rather, you would make opportunities for other people to taste that love. And that is what Hanuman did there. But these deeper aspects of the psychology of bhakti are not portrayed visibly in the Valmiki Ramayana. So Madhvacharya clarifies that in the Tatparya Nirnaya, that these are the intentions, and that is the dynamism of bhakti. Of course, you may throw a reason outside, an apparent reason, that why I'm not jumping or why am I not participating in your discussion. It is because I have got a curse of some sage because of which I've forgotten my abilities. This is how one would be led to reason, but that is not the fact. There is a deeper dynamic to it, and that is the way of bhakti. In bhakti, a person relishes giving an opportunity to taste, because you value that love, you value that love of God. So you, in that love, what it makes you do is it doesn't make you use up all opportunities for yourself. Rather, it makes you to make, you would definitely do what is your part, but you would also want to make an opportunity available for the others to experience, or to try to gain that love of God. Make sense?
Yes, Guruji.
Anybody has a problem with this explanation? I mean, I'm asking very roughly, but I mean, what I want to say, any doubts?
I wanted to confirm, even the apparent shlokas which say that Hanuman's jaw was broken by Indra's Vajra also come under this category only, right?
Yeah, because that would what it would appear to be. Hanuman is not Hanuman because his jaw was broken. Hanu Jnane. Hanuman means Jnanavan. Of course, he has a very strong and expressed jaw. A strong jaw is a sign of a strong man. Better know this. And it's a part of a kind of, you could say, I don't know if you could call it a mutation, but it has been consistently observed that over the years, over the decades, that's the later decades, after the all these green revolutions and white revolutions, it has been consistently observed that the jaw, the make of the jaw, is becoming weaker and weaker amongst human beings because of the wrong choices of food and lifestyle that we have made. But a strong and expressed jaw is a sign of a strong man. So if you have guna, aguna, viveka, in the world, it is not always that the purest truth will prevail. No. You should know this about the nature of the world, that what prevails here is not the clarified, purest truth. What prevails here is a version of the truth. Every lie will have to have a percentage of truth to it. Only then it works as a lie. Otherwise, the deception will be obvious. Every lie is a half truth. Do you understand that?
Could you please elucidate, Guruji? I mean, how every lie is a half truth.
You can't completely lie. I can't say that it is not night now, it is daytime.
I didn't get it.
It's a complete lie to say that it is like broad daylight now. You can to say that it is afternoon now. It's a lie, right?
Yes.
Will that work?
No.
Because it's obvious that it's a lie.
Oh, okay. Yes, Guruji.
So how would you make a lie? Probably a person who is speaking a lie is speaking so that people accept it for truth, isn't it?
Yes, Guruji.
Now, if that has to happen, you can't speak a blatant lie, which is 100% lie. A lie will only work when it has some percentage of the truth, enough truth that the person whom you intend to deceive will take it for the truth.
Yes, Guruji.
But then the main part that is important, there will be a lie. That works. That's how lies work in this world.
Yes, Guruji.
That's the same thing that I am saying, that it applies to this also. So, what is apparent and what is believed to be, whatever is wrongly believed to be, it can't be completely wrong. It has to be based in some truth. Only then it can survive as a popular meme or a popular opinion or notion that grips the minds of many people over vast periods of time. Only when it has some kind of a basis in reality. You can build truths on, you can build lies, even a superstructure of lies, a network of lies. You can build it only on the basis of truth. So, the notions that are popularly believed by people will have something true to it, which we need to filter out, which we need to siphon out from the barrel of lies. And then, after having siphoned that out, then we can build truth on the foundation of truth. Now, truth on the foundation of truth is what is being attempted, or it's what is being aimed at in the Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya. Hanuman being the greatest being, no other person's curse will work on him unless he allows it to work. So he is at liberty to let some curse to work on him or not. That is the level of liberty that he has. Anyway, it was good that we contemplated something to do with Ramayana today. Tomorrow happens to be Ramanavami, the day when Rama appeared to benefit all the beings of the universe. So, if anyone has any questions, please ask.
Hare Rama, Guruji. Am I audible?
Yeah, Hare Ram. Was that a question?
No. Yeah, Guruji, I had a question. Brata just mentioned a few minutes ago that Rama had left Sita because he wanted to delude the demons. Can you please explain on that?
Come again. What had you said? What had you said?
No, Brata, a few minutes ago, he had mentioned that he was mentioning of the Moh Shastras, and he had said that Rama had to leave Sita because he wanted to delude the demons, sort of mislead the demons.
Delude the demons into thinking what?
Yeah, that is what I wanted to understand actually. He
Okay, he
just
wanted to
mentioned it in
delude
a
the
sentence.
demons to think that he has left Sita.
Yeah, okay, maybe that is the
No, that's all.
point. Mhm.
I'm sure he has mentioned all the other details. But what he wanted to delude, he wanted them to think that he has left Sita, owing to their subversion, owing to their subversive techniques. They employed subversion to corrupt the minds of the people of Ayodhya, who were otherwise uncorruptible. 9,000 years, when Rama decided to, send Sita away, it was already more than 9,000 years actually, nearing 10,000 years that Rama had already rescued Sita from Lanka and come back. So people who didn't speak about her for 10,000 years, why would they suddenly start speaking about her? Is that a question that's worth asking?
Yeah, actually, my question was that Rama. What I understood was that I thought that Rama did some adharma by leaving Sita. So I thought he was misdirecting the demons by doing this activity.
Yeah.
So I think I
So
misunderstood the
I'm
meaning.
saying if the
Yeah.
people have not spoken for 10,000 years, that after Rama rescued Sita from Lanka and brought her back to Ayodhya, for 10,000 years people did not speak in that way, maligning the character of
Yeah.
Sita. So isn't that a question worth asking? That how come people who didn't speak for 10,000 years started speaking now?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah. Usually these questions are not asked by anybody because they don't take Ramayana seriously. You have to see the time that has lapsed in between. It's of the scale of 10,000 years. So Madhvacharya has taken that question up and answered it by quoting references that it was actually because of demons called as Suranikas who wanted to separate. They were not born during the time of Rama. They were very ancient demons. Most of the demons that Rama is dealing with are very ancient demons. They have been there from lakhs of years, if not crores sometimes. Ravana has been around from millions of years before Rama. So Rama is dealing with all these demons. So Suranikas are the demons who entered into Ayodhya at such a stage when Ayodhya was at the peak of its prosperity. And they started poisoning the minds of the people and spreading these ideas that how come Rama has accepted Sita, who has stayed in another man's house for so many months. They started spreading this idea. I think mostly from Tulsi Ramayana and especially some Ramayanas which might be famous in North India, the idea that you get is that some dhobi, a washerman, he spoke like that, and that's the reason why Rama left Sita. That didn't happen in that way. If you read Valmiki Ramayana, these things, there is no point about Darshana Bhasha and Guhya Bhasha here. What has up was descriptions of events about um, their um their sequence of happening, which was first and which was next. There is no such thing. The sequence, that is what it appears to be. What Rama did, what Rama said. So Rama did not just send Sita away because of the word of one dhobi. No, that didn't happen like that. If you read the Valmiki Ramayana, there is clearly mentioned that Rama summoned all the heads of the society and asked them in front of their eyes. He was standing and asked them, "Is this true? Are people speaking like this?" And then they all bowed their head in shame. Do you know how much looseness it gives to the people? If the king is loose, that is the master crack to actually, destroy a kingdom. It's the master blunder that a kingdom gets destroyed if the king is of loose character. He need not be of a loose character. If even people think of him as like that, that will lead to the doom of that empire. So anyway, here the Suranikas, they had gotten some benedictions from Brahma saying that we should get Vaikuntha, Mukti. We should get Mukti no matter what we do in this world. So they were given that they were given that blessing by Brahma, but just that Brahma said that we can't give that blessing fully like that. There has to be some condition. Otherwise, it's not going to even out. So Brahma said that, okay, you can do anything, and as you want it to be, I will deem it that you won't get the sin of anything you do. That is until when you do the one thing that you cannot do, and that will be trying to separate Lakshmi and Narayana. If you do that, then this blessing will stay void. Make sense?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes,
I
Guru.
had one doubt.
Sorry? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had one doubt that why astronomical evidence based on Sri Rama's birth chart says that Sri Rama was born some thousand of years ago, whereas our scripture says that Sri Rama was born in 24th Mahayugas, Treta Yuga.
In 24th Yuga Chakra, yes. See, these are ways by which people can decipher, like looking into archaeological records or, by astronomical facts. You can conjecture that this might have been the age of this. But when we have direct records of who lived when, why would we resort to any other examinative or corrective means of knowing? Why would we do that? Why?
Yes, Guruji, why?
I want an answer from you.
To verify whether it is true or not.
To verify, but verification comes only when you doubt the source. there are some things that we need to be aware that there's no way that we can verify. Relationships in this world are made in such a way that some things are beyond our verificatory abilities. For instance, if a child wants to verify whether what it is being fed is nutritional or not, can it do that? You heard the question?
Could you please repeat the question, Guruji?
If a child wants to verify as to whether the food that it is being fed is nutritional or not, can it do that?
No, Guruji, a child cannot verify it.
Yeah, but it has to receive the breast milk or the whatever food forms are being fed to it by those who are its well-wishers. At least in that level, they won't cheat. So there, I'm not saying that there are people who have fed poison to children and killed them. I'm aware of those crimes, but they are exceptions. But the norm, there is a normative sense to that kind of a, there's a trust that you place in that. If somebody has to prove that your father and mother are doing something wrong to you, it's not something that is easy to accept. You would want proof. I'm not saying it is entirely impossible. In this day and age, it can happen, and it does happen. I'm seeing it happen more often than ever today. But as the child of those parents, it will be when somebody tells you that your own parents are doing something not good for you, then you would need more than just those words to verify that. Yeah. But then when the trust is unbroken and when there is no reason to doubt that trust, why would you want some? Because these methods of knowing, see, methods of knowing using anything, even using astrology, using archaeology, using geology, these methods are quite speculative and conjecture. They are based on conjecture.
Yes, Guruji.
So why would you doubt the authenticity of a fact that is coming from authentic sources? And
Yes, Guruji.
so that's what I would ask. Yeah.
Okay, but astronomical evidences are also more high proof now, because based on Sri Rama's birth chart only they are saying.
Yeah, but how? See, until recently, they were not even able to reconstruct the exact. I mean, even there were mistakes coming in their calculation of tithis, for instance. When they calculate today, when is Dvitiya, when is Tritiya, you can see that if you see various panchangas, you will find that even to calculate the tithi, which is the most basic calculation of astrological mathematics. So even there you will find differences today, that somebody will say that the Ekadashi is on 10th and another person will say that the Ekadashi is on 9th. I'm not saying about just words that speak, but I'm saying about panchangas. If you open panchangas, there are various schools or various people who are authentically being making panchangas from several years.
Yes, Guruji.
So when you find such differences in the very calculation of tithis, which is the most basic calculation of panchanga, so I doubt their abilities to be able to reconstruct the exact moment of time back then when Rama was born. because there is a lot that goes in between it. Yugas, when you're speaking in the range of yugas, then doubts arise as to our capacity to actually pinpoint the actual moment of time when something has traversed. Because there are several other greater phenomena that come into. Have you heard of precession?
Precision. No, Guruji.
That's another phenomena that modern astronomy, I'm speaking of modern world, so-called scientific astronomy, they are awakening to the fact that there's something called precession to the earth. Precession is a slight wobble on the part of the earth. So because of that wobble, there are major changes that happen even with respect to the star that is at focus from the North Pole up when you look at. Because of the tilt of the earth and changes in the tilt of the earth, the very star which today is used as a guiding star because it stays a constant, even that will change. So these calculations are okay for a range of time, but not beyond that. We won't be able to do justice with these. Okay. If there are no more questions, I think I would want to conclude at this today. And I'm tired from a whole day's little exertion. So please excuse me. I'll take leave. I hope the discussion was fruitful.
Yes, Guruji. Hare Rama, Guruji.
Hare Ram, Shubharatri.
Hare Rama Guruji.
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram.
Hare Ram.